Good morning, my lovely friends, and welcome to this week's little live presentation, or not really a presentation. I don't know what we'll call it. Anyway, my prompt for this week was love and this heart, and for documented faith, the verse this week is that oh gosh, I should have brought it over, but I didn't. It's in John 15 that we are called to lay down our lives for our friends. That's how much our love is, and not necessarily like die for them, but give them time and listen to them and share your art with them and share your techniques with them, and so that's what that's kind of my little prompts. This was one of the, take a breath, Sue. This was one of the hearts that came in Dina's little packet that she sent me along with her small little media journal. I finally had to take that little strip of paper off because it was a little annoying. Kept on falling off. So let's just make this a little bit bigger and see what we come up with here this morning. I did put some background on, so we're not just starting from the get-go, but I really the first thing I want to do, I think, is put this little line of arrows in here because that's just going to give a little definition to our, not definition, but focus to our little love theme. We're going to bring your eye right in here on the side of the page. I'm going to put it up even a little bit higher than maybe what is called for. Hopefully that's kind of straight. And I did not use any orange that is in here is from mixing magenta and yellow. So I'm going to just blend that little piece in. Get some little cadmium yellow here with my magenta and some white. Where's my white? Oh, my white is right here. I always keep it super handy. And, I heard somebody's kind of heard his mission story this morning as he started his podcast, and I thought, you know what, mine is just a passion for art and a passion for God, and sharing that passion, and keep that simple. And I see that this is already coming up, so I'm just going to use my little ooh stick here and glue it down. And that blue goes away, but it's kind of nice because you can see exactly where you have the glue at the beginning. All right, and let's just put some white back in over here so it isn't quite so in your face. I'm just doing this with my fingers. I think smearing with your fingers works really well. And I can even extend that little yellow and white line a little bit. I put up a new blog post this morning, so if you have time, maybe go and check that out. It's all about what I learned in the 21 days with a couple little samples. So that's on SueChemnitz.com. And one of my inspirations for this is some Dina tape that I've had forever, and I love that cool versus the warm, so I want to try and emanate that a little bit. And I think the first thing I'm going to do is even just bring a little red in, since we are talking about love here. And a little bit of red goes a really long way. And the next thing I want to do is simply take some cool colors. that on that heart. Do I want to leave some white on it or not? Don't like the white. I like the white in the middle, but I want it to show up against the background, so I am going to fill this in a little bit. I like that little orange dot that just kind of came on there. And I also pulled a page out of her Collage collective, and I'm going to just simply cut some hearts out of there to kind of go with this theme over here. And I love how really rich and dark that is. Let's even try and copy some of these little, not enough paint on there, I'm afraid. Just copy, oh my goodness, we just rolled that right through the paint. Oh, oopsie back there, that's okay, it'll just turn into a shadow for our heart. I like the teal up there. And you know, before I put these on too, I think I'm going to do some scribbles on the back of my page. Because there again, that will actually carry your eye through the page, and a little goes, you know, I've done things with like a ton of scribbles on. I was going to say a little goes a long way, but I do actually really enjoy having some definitive. And I'm purposefully just twirling the crayon here. And there again, that is another piece that really carries your eye across the page. So let's cut out a couple hearts out of here to put on there. And I called this the power of black because I have just been having a really fun time with black lately. I'm probably cutting this way off the side, but you know how to cut. I know how to cut way better than I do. There's one, and I'm gonna actually, I think, cut two. I'm gonna take a little bit from the other side where it's not quite so dark. And let's see what I like better. I kind of like all of those. As a matter of fact, look at how putting it against that white up there, how it really shows up. That really does do a nice job of leading my eye across here. And one of the things that I have just absolutely fallen in love with lately is just taking a high contrast piece. These are just some that I actually made. A high contrast piece and inserting that in the art someplace. Let's just see where we think that will go. Maybe this. I think I'm gonna actually put that over on this one. And here's a little test. Do we like it better as just one little piece, or like that, where it's in a strip? And kind of like that, actually. Let's find another smallish one so that it doesn't overwhelm our little heart here. You know, I am pointing the finger at me here, but gosh, if we were just able to keep our love on a little bit more and not, now look at, I like, and not react. How amazing could we be in this world and influence this world? And I do think I'm going to cut these out too, because I really like the way that looks there. And let's just see what happens here. One. Two. I'm going to cut out 4 of these. Now, one of the things that I love is that you give me permission to do a little bit of the background ahead of time, because that just enables me to share just a little bit more of the process without boring you to tears. So I wanted this one to go up here because I do want the fact that it comes from him. And let's rearrange these a little bit. And let's glue all of this down. What do you think? This one should come over the edge a little bit, I think. Yeah, I like that layout, just like that. I think we can be a little more powerful with our black if I just rub some of this on the edges, but I want to glue those down because I really like those where those are. So before I take those off, I like the fact that they're not kind of exact. Although I say that and then it's like, oh, it has to be exactly here for it to look good for me. How are those? Nice, I like that. I love this little guy up here. I love this little guy up here. Let's put these on here. My hand is wet. I don't know if because I was rinsing it off. And I just think there's a lot of power in that just black and white that comes in there. So let's just do this around the edges of my heart to make them jump out a little bit more. And I think if I was not creating this in my sketchbook, I would actually probably put something behind this and then have this floating. But maybe we can give that illusion with a little bit of pencil at the end. It's probably a really good thing to do with this stamp pad because it has a lot of ink on it. All right, let's glue these down. Good. I think this one's going to migrate up to there to cover up the edge of that. Nice. This one I can tell that black is still wet on the edges. Nice. Could use a credit card instead of this. This is back from my sign making days. All right, and you know what? I actually think I am good with this. I could use a little more dark in there. Has a teeny bit of water on it. Just put a teeny little shadow there. Maybe too teeny. Maybe we can't even see that. And I'm going to put some splatters on and call it a day. And I think I'm even going to put a couple black splatters on, since the title of this piece is The Power of Black. And I'm just going to keep those right up by my hearts to keep that focus right there. All right, should we keep that little guy there or not? I think we will. I think we will. All right, so I hope you enjoyed today. Don't forget there's a new blog post up if you go to SueChemnitz.com. Thanks for joining me today, Monday, and we'll see you next Monday. God bless. Toodles.